What's up, and welcome back to Gabe Miller Music. Today, I'm doing a very obvious video topic I can't believe I didn't think of earlier, and that is making synthwave on the Akai Force. Taking two things that I like very much and bringing them together, and in a lot of ways, the Force is kind of perfect for this, which I'll be showing you over the course of this video, doing stuff kind of from scratch. But first, I want to let you know that we have merch now. If you like this shirt or others like it, hit the link in the description, designed by my very good friend and frequent creative collaborator, Coastland Creative. A purchase of a shirt or other merch item will help keep the channel going. On with the video. So some of this does get a little self-indulgent and full circle-y if you followed my stuff, but bear with me. I'm going to try to keep this as interesting and informative as possible. Quick two-sentencer bit of background, and then I promise this will head somewhere at least a bit more interesting and informative. I originally made a song on the Akai Force that I then got a vocalist to sing over. Now, what I want to do is remake that song in a different genre. That was future bass. This is going to be synthwave, or probably more accurately, synth pop with a drop. That was a couple of run-on sentences, but here's the important bit, and here's why I bring this up. I wanted to export things like the chords and the ARP part and the lead melody from the original session. In order to do that, you can select a clip, hit save to pull up the save menu if you're on one of the later firmware versions, and then export the clip as MIDI. But here's the thing, for whatever reason, and it's possible I was doing something wrong, exporting it as MIDI didn't work right for me. When I brought it into a new Force project, it just had like a single note in it. I don't know what the deal is with that. So instead, I exported it as a pattern, and that all was able to be brought in super easily. I also went ahead and exported some various tracks, so like modified plugins with effects stacked onto them from various projects so that I could bring them into this new project, because I'm kind of building up a little library of stuff that I like to reach for again and again. Parallel to that, I also exported the final vocal from the mixed version of the song in my DAW, and I made sure to have it separated by like verse, and it's basically a pre-chorus and then another verse and another pre-chorus. And I have brought those in as clips. So all you have to do that is to go into load, select a clip, and in this case, I have it in this folder, and you can just hit load. And there's a pad part playing, but hopefully you get the idea. And to bring in your own presets, you can select a track. And I have exported just entire tracks that I can then bring in. So let me demonstrate this on an empty track, actually. I've got this super saw thing, so we're gonna just create a random plugin, then hit load. There might be a more efficient way to do this, but that has worked fine for me. And finally, if you want to bring in a pattern you exported, you once again go to load, select a clip, and then select your pattern. So that's pretty straightforward. So here's what I've got so far, because like I said, I've been loading some of this stuff in advance. A couple of Jura patches. And then I just realized this vocal is going to be pretty loud, so let's turn that down a bit.
The sea of LEDs fills my head with electricity.
So we're off to a good start, I think. Additionally, I have the bit that goes into what'll basically be a drop. And this is the other kind of self-indulgent full circle, because this song's been through a couple of iterations. I'm not particularly shy about recycling ideas if I think I can bring something interesting to a previous idea of mine, or maybe just do it better than past me was able to do. So I made a version of this song that was purely instrumental. This was before I ever wrote the vocal for it, on the Innovation Circuit tracks, and I used it in conjunction with the Microfreak, was one of the synths that I used, and I used it for the lead. This is a multi-sampled version of that exact patch. So that lead part now basically returns to being on this patch, but in a completely different form. And that's part of my $5 keygroup program, also linked in the description. I promise I'll try to stop selling you things until the end screen. So we got this instrumental passage. It's maybe a bit bouncy, but I think that's fine. What do you say we get some drums in here? I actually think I'm going to bring in some other stuff while I'm at it that I may or may not actually end up using. I'm going to leave room, because what I like to do for tom fills is just edit the individual samples independent of one another. That way, their panning can be independent and their pitch can be independent, but also consistent. So I don't have to hop into 16 levels and kind of guess. Also, while I'm at it, I've brought in one other drum sample. I intentionally left gaps for fills while recording that kick and snare part, including these toms. So now, cheesy as all hell, but that is synthwave. It do be like that. So now for this hi-hat, and in fact, you know what? I can't believe I'm about to do this, but I think I need to turn this hi-hat up, at least temporarily. Nice. So I think for this shaker, we're going to do the same velocity rocking back and forth thing, but add an ensemble for stereo width. And then bury it in the mix. Give this a big ol' reverb. I like drums, okay? I have a big ol' built-in bias in favor of our good friend, the drum. Too much. I'll probably clean that up a bit more later, but first I want to make an alternate section and then we'll move on from drum purgatory, I promise. So this goes away. That stays. And this actually goes away too. And here's why. I'm going to copy this so I can independently control it, because I think this version's going to need to get turned down a bit. But let's just record it, because that's easy. What's happening out there? There's machinery and I hope you can't hear it. Why is it 9:30? Everyone chooses to do the loudest things. So we're going to cut some lows on this version of it, because I want it to stay out of the way of the kick. And now I can make whatever other iterations of that I need as we go. I think I'm kind of set up for the next few steps of what I want to do. So for this verse, I've got some stuff I like. This is the patch transparency. Now if I go into my mixer, I've got a granulator on here and a ducker all locked and loaded, although the way it's routed might not make sense. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to that. And then this, with no additional effects, just the preset analog mallets. And you better bet we're going to assign a macro to this cutoff later. So the next thing this verse needs then is something a little more present, something to kind of anchor it, some kind of brassy synth patch, I think. Instead of hype, get swapped out for Jura. I should give the regular disclaimer. I like Jura quite a bit. I bought it with my own money. You don't need it, because the Force, just as it comes, stock, can do everything you would need it to do in order to make a full song without buying basically DLC. Okay, here we go. It's maybe a bit stabby. So let me copy that clip over. Boom. 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 We're getting somewhere. I think I need to just send that entire thing down an octave. Ooh. So by itself, comes in 2 suddenly. Oh, here we go, here we go. That's a little less abrupt. And then we make it floatier. Chorus 2 it is. And then I need just a massive reverb. Too much, too much. This is not true 80s. This is like simulated 80s. There we go. We can mess with this cutoff too. Lift it over the course of the verse. I require bass. That is what I need in life. I need a bass that goes dun 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 dun. That's what I need. That's a contender. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, that is, pardon the pun, basic. Cut that. That might be the contender. I'm just gonna record those, whoopsies, 4 notes and copy pasta, baby. Paste. 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 Let's see what's the next note I need. This is like the least efficient possible way to do this, but it's kind of efficient in its own neurotic way. Boom, dropped it on that note. And dropped it on that note. So I think I need another bass. I need the neural bass. My face cam is blurry. Where's my reso? Do I dare throw more? Yeah, I throw more chorus on it, and it sounds nice. And probably more drums. Actually, here's what we do. We're gonna do this halftime, because that's kind of hype. I'm gonna need to find like the biggest damn reverb you ever did here for that snare at some point. Yeah, I loaded this in earlier. I want to use it for some little like melodic fills. I want to figure out what those are. That's so funny when it gets cut off. Okay, but that's kind of nice, right? I definitely need to bury that in the mix. I'm not sure how I feel about being that prominent. And in fact, I wonder if I shelve this for a different patch. So I need like a bell sound. I kind of want to use a key group here to avoid using up all my plugin slots, at least this early in the game. Ooh, okay. That could be tight. Right. That's neat, I think. But way too freaking loud. So that other one then. Actually sounds way freaking cooler, higher pitched. Yep, that's it. That's the thingy. So now, I can copy this. Oh, but I need to transpose it down, don't I? So, pro tip, if you hold down Shift, you get all these options. I've been using them to copy and paste. You can also select all, which I sometimes forget to do.
Left my heart behind in the neon city.
All right, so I need to think pretty carefully about how I build up, because we basically break down to build back up, but we're not doing an EDM build because this is not an EDM track. So what I need to do is have this lead in, All right, so real quick, let me do a bit of cleanup and restructuring. Quick note from Gabe from the future. I was finishing up structuring the song and I realized surely there must be an easier way to just insert a row, right? Sure enough, there is. If you hold down edit and hit launch, you get the option to insert a blank row, and there's all these other options that I haven't really looked into yet. Just wanted to let you know that all of that kind of reversed row Tetris was totally unnecessary, and I make these mistakes so you don't have to. So then our bass also goes away, I think. Oh, and our fills go away. We don't need those yet. And then ML Synth preset 1, you're also gone from this intro. So we have a chill intro.
The sea of LEDs fills my head with electricity.
Kind of Tron Legacy core.
The trance pulling away, the neon glow pulls back like gravity. Because I left my heart behind
It chills out, and then we build into our drop.
in the neon city.
It's so wimpy because it doesn't have all the things yet. That's freaking hilarious.
I'm drifting.
So then there's like a little drop down of a variety, maybe a little one bar like wah. So I think what this needs is bass. Oh yeah.
Left my heart behind in the neon city. I know I left my
I like this patch. So I have something pretty specific in mind for this. I want to basically have the first two notes have a higher velocity and then the next ones not. So we go to velocity, zoom in because I can't see. So then these go down.
left my
Just the first one. Is anyone going to even notice this in the final product? Probably not.
left my heart behind.
We could actually mess with this velocity a bit further. Start to have this go up. I'm also going to end up messing with the cutoff almost certainly because I'm me and that's how this goes. All right, so let's hear how this flows.
Left my heart behind in the neon city.
I don't know if it needs the hi-hats. But it kind of works. So now we can start to copy paste some stuff. I think I've got enough of a foundation that this next bit gets a bit easier. I kind of wonder,
I'm drifting through the streets like a ghost caught in a reverie.
is that too little? Because I kind of like it.
I'm drifting through the streets like a ghost caught in a reverie.
And then no do bass. Copy this whole dealio. We take the fill from it,
A portal to another world.
and then I want that bass. Yeah.
A portal to another world opened up right in front of me.
Swell of some sort. Then we end on 4 on the floor. Yeah.
Left my heart behind in the neon city.
I gotta get rid of that clap part. That sounds so goofy along with the vocal.
Left my heart behind in the neon city.
This demands like a different kick and snare part.
Left my heart behind in the neon city.
All right, so I'm gonna paste the chords in there. One other thing I want to do on camera though, before I like spend some time tinkering with this to get it full song jammable, is to set up some macros. The simpler, the better, probably. So macros, I need my knob mode to be in project 2. So I can start setting stuff to be custom. Choose a track. So drums is fine. Pretty pad. Maybe just like the slightest raising in filter cutoff. So I want my range to be starting at its lowest possible point. So 307 and change. And then probably not much more than that. See, that's pushing it. So same dealio with our friend the brass. So right now it's parked at 811. And it sounds good there. So then it needs to go a bit above that, but not by much. This is track 4. This is the very more pluckier one. This is basically just a big old cutoff knob. So even that's pushing it. Because I really like how laid back it is. So I would raise that over the course of the verse, I think. Yeah. Good. Very. So the other thing then would be this one. That's going to be an interesting one to try to keep reasonable. See, that sounds stupid. Surely, this could get a cutoff raise as well. Actually, you know, it'd be kind of tight for that one. Not only does the cutoff go up, but the envelope amount goes up. So then the other thing I'll need to do is probably on this side of the knobs, I'll have one for the cutoff of the lead so I can smoothly bring it in right before the drop. So you go. And I like it dipping back down to a more chill section. I think that's also pretty cool. I need to go to bed, so I'm going to stop this and then you'll hear the finished jam right now. If you'd like to see the making of the original version of the song, also on the Force, but in a very different style, you can check out this video up over here. And if you'd like to see a deeper dive into the Jura plugin, you can check out this video down over here. And of course, don't forget to hit the link in the description to get shirts like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with a new video in a little bit.